Today we're going to discuss what to answer a foreigner who is concerned about purchasing property in South Africa. Now, this is a topical issue, particularly in light of the State of the Nation address, during which President Zuma announced that Parliament will soon be considering the Regulation of Land Holdings Bill. And what the bill is aimed at is curbing foreign investment or foreign ownership of land in South Africa. And a few days after the State of the Nation address, the government issued an explanatory note stating that the bill will only be aimed at agricultural land and that foreigners will be allowed to own land by way of long-term leases of between 30 and 50 years. And the maximum hectareage that a foreigner will be allowed to own by way of the lease would be 12,000 hectares. Now, the issue regarding long-term leases is not as controversial as one would think, especially as in many countries overseas, that is the standard practice. Foreigners are only allowed to own land by way of long-term leases. What is more controversial is the maximum hectareage a foreigner will be allowed to own. Earlier this month, the MEC for Department Rural Development announced that the maximum is in fact 5,000 hectares and not 12,000. So it's going to be interesting to see the bill in its final format. The bill as it is, however, has to go through the full legislative process, which means that a draft bill has to be submitted to Congress and the bill has to be submitted for public participation. And once that process is through, it still has to stand the test of a constitutional challenge. Now, the question on everybody's lips is whether the Act will allow for expropriation and whether it will have retrospective effect. Now, on the second question, it appears that it will not have retrospective effect. Section 25 of the Constitution determines that no person may be deprived of land in an arbitrary manner. So we have that certainty that the Constitution will protect private property insofar as it is just and equitable. So, what to answer a foreigner who is concerned about purchasing land in South Africa? First of all, there is no legislation in place that prohibits foreign ownership of land. Whether it's agricultural, commercial, industrial, it really doesn't matter. And on the second question, we know that the bill has to go through the full legislative process. And if it survives that process, it will no doubt be the subject of a constitutional challenge.